Okay, you've got a piece of land, you want to make a vegetable garden. How do you plan it? How do you design it? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you what I did. So, when I arrived here at this beautiful piece of property that was lent to us by a good friend of ours, it hadn't been used in a number of years, so I think they had been growing wheat or something on it. So it was quite a job to prepare the area. There was lots of piles of debris and everything that had to be moved out. So first I had to decide where I wanted the garden, and just made sure it was kind of facing south facing, where all the crops were kind of exposed to the same amount of sun. And I decided to go with the 4 raised row system that I had had at the previous garden. Why the 4 raised rows? Well, various reasons. First of all, kind of elevates everything up, so it's not such a big reach down to the bottom. All the vegetables are kind of raised up a bit. You're not bending down as far. Narrow enough so you can reach the far side from one side, and narrow enough that you can kind of straddle it if you want to work it, and also to access all parts of the garden, so you don't have to go all the way around to the other end. You can just walk over. Also, because of the rain, it doesn't rain here very often, but when it does, it rains hard and for long periods of time. And so the raised mounds allow the water to kind of roll off. It doesn't kind of pool there in the mounds. If there's any pooling, it'll be in the walkways. So it kind of prevents your soil from getting waterlogged and sitting there in a puddle of water. One thing that I would recommend you do when you are building your raised beds or your raised rows is to make sure that the walkways are wide enough. Wide enough for you to walk through easily, but also for squatting down, working the vegetables. You don't want to squat down and be bumping into the other row, just so it's comfortable for you to be able to do that. And one way to do that is to take the widest rake you have and make sure it's about that width. Also, you can easily pass the rake through, to keep on top of the weeds as well. I like to pass the rake over once a week at least to kind of keep the weed seeds at bay, and it's just a lot more comfortable. You can put a stool in there, work the raised beds. If you have some work to do, it's going to take some time. You have some room in there to put a stool and work that, and you can access the whole garden. Now you'll see that I also have a rabbit fence, because the rabbits are nasty here in the Canary Islands. They will get into your garden and they will eat everything you have. And also the lizards. We have some wonderful endemic lizards here in the Canary Islands, and they'll eat everything. I've seen lizards climbing up the bean pole and sitting there relaxing and eating all my beans. Or I've come back to an entire broccoli plant eaten down to the stem. So I had to put in some extra mesh because those lizards just walk through the chicken wire. So I had to put some smaller mesh down at the base. It comes up to the top and protrudes out to prevent them from kind of climbing up, and it seems to have worked. There are a lot fewer lizards in the garden now. But it's not all fenced off. I have a section off to the side where I have the summer, winter squash, pumpkins, zucchinis, and potatoes, things that aren't really so susceptible to rabbit attacks and lizard attacks.
Well, thanks for watching my very first YouTube video. Like and subscribe, and We'll see you down the road.